Hello, Fat Grandma here. If you have not been here before, my name is Paula. I have a very small eBay store. I occasionally sell on Poshmark, and I have onboarded with Whatnot, but I have yet to do a Whatnot auction. It's been over 2 weeks now since I took the onboarding class, and I am dragging my feet, so we'll get into that later maybe. What I normally do is I talk about my solds for the past week. There's usually not very many. And then I talk about other things, whatever's on my mind or whatever's going on, any news, health related or otherwise. So anyway, I'm going to break into my solds first, and then I've got a couple of things that I wrote down I wanted to talk about, just share some thoughts with you guys on things and see if anybody else feels the same way I do, or if it's annoying to anyone else, if it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm old and grouchy. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so my first sale, I had 8 sales total. Actually 7 buyers. So one person bought 2 items, and that's the first one, was 2 Arizona Highways Magazine's binders. And I listed them separately because they were a full 12 issues in each binder. And anyway, they sold for $18 each, so $36 for both binders plus shipping. I got these in an auction lot with, I'll put a picture up here, with a bunch of National Geographic magazines, which I realize don't sell for much, if at all. And they're from a variety of years. The Nat Geo magazines are from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, I think. I just threw them all together in a lot, and they're listed on eBay. And if they don't sell, I'll leave them up for a while. But if they don't sell, then I will probably just donate them, because I paid $5, or the lot was $5. I paid probably $7 with the auction fees and tax, and I made $36. Well, I sold the 2 binders for $36. I made 18 on one. I gave them a partial refund on the shipping, so I didn't make the same amount on both items. I made 18 on one and 21 on the other one. So that's $39. I cleared $39 and then less my expenses, so it was like $32 that I made after eBay fees and stuff. Not too bad. And I had them listed for, I want to say 3 months maybe, so it wasn't horrible. I'm looking back to see when I bought those. Let's see, it was March 5th, so 2 months, just a little over 2 months. And I thought it might take a while for those to sell, because obviously it's a specific buyer looking for old Arizona Highways magazines. One of the binders was 1961, and the other one was 1959. The issues were all in really good condition, though. They did not look as old as they were. So anyway, somebody got some nice Arizona Highways magazines and a decent price for them, and I made a decent profit on them. So that was a good sale. The next item was, these were something that I got at one of those bin stores where you can go in and they have like everything is $10 on Monday, and then the next day if you go the next day, it's like, the price drops each day of the week, and so they end up with crappier stuff toward the end of the week, and that's when I go, because I don't want to spend $10 on one thing unless I know for sure it's going to sell. They seemed, this particular one that I went to, most of the stuff that they had seemed to be off-brand. like generic brand items. And anyway, I picked these wooden building blocks up because I thought, I think I paid $2 or $3 for them, and it's a good thing I didn't pay any more because I have had them listed for, I'm going to say, at least 10 months, and they sold for $5.99. So I barely made my money back. They were, they obviously belonged with something else. They came in a box, probably with some set that these blocks were included with, but they were just by themselves in the bin. And so I grabbed them because I thought somebody probably could use these. Their kids can use them as extras or whatever. And it took forever for them to sell, but they're gone now. They finally sold. The next item I sold was a bad buy, and I've mentioned these before. They're selling here and there, but this one I lost money on. Avon teacups. They're teacup and saucer sets. None of them have been worth anything. And I paid $6 a set at the Animal Rescue thrift store, thinking, and I didn't check eBay before I purchased them. I just thought, oh, these are cool, and don't buy them if you see them. Look them up because maybe there's a rare one out there that's worth money. But I think I had 6 or 7 of them to start with. I think I have 3 or 4 left now, and it's taking a long time to sell them. Anyway, this was the 2000 Avon Honor Society teacup and saucer, and it sold for a whopping $6. I got an offer, and I paid $6 for these. So after eBay fees and stuff, I lost money on this, but it's gone. And I just, like I said, I only have a few more left. And if they don't sell soon, I'm gonna probably end up offering them in my first Whatnot auction, and somebody can get them for $1, $2. And if nobody wants them, they're getting donated because I don't want to look at them anymore. I have other things that can take up that space that will be worth storing for a while, Let's see. The next item I sold was 2 framed signed ink sketches. And the artist wrote "Imagines" on the back of these pieces of artwork. Ramicia Travassos was the name of the artist. It's a Brazilian. I did some research to figure out where these came from. And it was a Brazilian artist, and they were dated 1991. So, and they've been listed for quite a while. I think I found one other piece of art on eBay from this particular artist, and there weren't any solds. I don't know who this person is, but they sold finally for $19.99 and plus shipping, so the total was $32.06. I don't know if I gave you guys the total. No, I didn't. The wooden blocks were $5.99, and with shipping it was $17.03. They were kind of heavy. This next item came in an auction lot, and it was a pewter battleship on a wood display base, and the metal plate on the bottom, the name said breaking him in. And it was Spoontiques was the name of the company that produced these or made these, and it was from 1982, so it was vintage, and it sold for a whopping $7. I think I got an offer on it, and I don't remember which lot this came in, but it's probably been paid for, so that's fine. The next item is something that came from my mother's cabinets in the kitchen. If you've been around for a while, you know that we went on an expedition and found a bunch of stuff, and I've been selling things here and there. And her share of the profit, 50%, gets put on the electric bill fund or whatever. Anyway, this item belonged to my grandmother, and it was a vintage aluminum 6-sided star metal colander strainer. And it was big. It was beat up. I mean, this thing, you know, and I mentioned all of the things that were wrong with it. I mean, it wasn't falling apart. It was pretty sturdy, but it just didn't look great, you know. I mean, you could tell this thing has had a life, and it was it was sad. Anyway, somebody paid $12.99 plus shipping for it, so it was $21.21 with shipping. I'm guessing this thing could be polished up and cleaned up, and it wouldn't look so bad, but it's pretty beat up. Anyway, they they will be getting it very soon. I think it's out for delivery. Oh no, tomorrow. It's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. So it was old, really old. Anyway, so not bad for an ancient kitchen gadget, you know. Let's see. Last sale was a Harry Potter collection, years 1 through 4 and 5 through 7. And these were DVD sets that had 4 DVDs in each little, it was a thin box that had the cardboard casing that goes over the DVD case. You'll see the picture. Anyway, I had both of them, and so they sold for I got an offer on these. They sold for $7.35, and it was $11.61 with shipping. They were used, but I did check the DVDs, and they were in pretty good condition. So, anyway, that is it for my sales. Nothing, you know, I didn't have a lot, but I did make, you know, some decent money on those Arizona Highways magazines, and lost money on the teacup. And let's see, the framed art was a decent profit. So, you know, this past week was probably a hair better than the week before. The weeks before that were awful. So things have gotten a little bit better with eBay. I'm still not getting activity on Poshmark, which this isn't new for me. I don't sell a lot on Poshmark. I'm thinking about, I have some misgivings about Mercari because of an experience that I had as a buyer. So I pulled the stuff that I did have listed on Mercari, but other people are selling on Mercari, and so I'm kind of torn. I don't know if I want to go ahead and cross-list from eBay to Poshmark and Mercari and see what happens. You know, I'm not a big risk taker, really, and so I don't know, you know. We'll see what happens with that. But as far as, okay, so that's it for my sales. You know, if that's what you came for, thanks for coming. I'll see you next week. And, you know, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if I'm the only one that gets annoyed by this, but anytime I ship something through UPS on eBay, they don't bill my account, or they don't pull the funds for the shipping until after the item has been delivered. And I've had it take like 2 weeks or more, you know, before they pull the funds for the UPS shipping. And it annoys me because they pull the funds for USPS, you know, for the post office. They pull them for FedEx. I don't understand why they don't pull the funds for UPS. And I don't like that, because if I go to pull a payment from my funds, if I've got something floating around out there that's taking forever for them to deduct the UPS charges from my account, and I pull all my funds out, then they're going to charge my credit card, and it's just, which is fine. I want to pay for things right away. When I do the thing, I want to pay for it. I don't like that thing floating around out there, you know, that I'm going to get charged later or whatever. And so what I do, and I don't know if anybody else does this, if I have a UPS shipment, because I offer UPS and FedEx on most of my things if they're over like 4 pounds, because I've kind of figured out that, you know, that seems to be the weight, and depending on the size of the box, you know, it's a better deal for the buyers if I use UPS and or FedEx as an option, as opposed to giving them USPS as the only option. That's often more expensive if it's a higher weight. Now, if it can fit into a USPS box and the amount is lower because that's a flat rate box, then I'll go ahead and offer USPS. But if it won't fit into one of their boxes, then I'll offer UPS or FedEx. And what I do is I use Pirate Ship. Just go to pirateship.com, and if it's a UPS, put in the measurements. It's often cheaper than it would be to ship UPS through eBay. So I'm saving money and I'm paying for it right away with my credit card that's for the business, And so then I don't have this thing floating around out there not knowing if the amount's going to be the same or when they're going to finally take it out of my account. That drives me bananas. So I just use Pirate Ship, and you can put your measurements in. They do cubic feet. Somehow the way that they do it, it has to do with the weight, but it also has to do with the cubic feet of the box or the package. So it can very often end up being less expensive than shipping through eBay. And then I just copy the tracking number and add it to my eBay shipment, so then the customer knows it's been shipped, eBay knows it's been shipped, and then it's done. And then I don't have to worry about a payment coming out, I'd rather have the money that has to go through eBay. I want to pay it right now. I don't want to wait. And it's like when my store payment is due every month. I watch and I make sure I have the funds in there usually. Anyway, so that's how I do my UPS stuff, because I don't like waiting for them to charge my account or take the money out of my account. I want to pay for it on the spot when I do the shipment, So you might try Pirate Ship if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you are already doing that, but that's my reason for opting to go with Pirate Ship in some cases, And like I said, I'll use priority boxes if the shipping will be lower for my buyer. Today was a good example. I had a sale, which will be in next week's video, but I had a sale and I had originally figured on using one of my boxes, but it was kind of a small item and I wondered if it would fit in a small USPS box, and it did. And I checked the rates and it was cheaper to send it through USPS in their priority box than it was going to cost sending it parcel post. So because it was just over a pound. Anyway, so I sent it priority, and I saved some money, and then the customer will get it a little bit faster too. As far as Whatnot goes, I'm dragging my feet. I have started putting things together in a bag, stuff that I'm going to put in the first auction, and I wanted to do one this week, but it's not going to happen. It's already Monday, and I'm nowhere near prepared. So I'm thinking either next Monday or Tuesday. But again, I will post a short video to let you guys know, in case anybody wants to know, when I'm going to be doing the auction. I think it'll be next Monday or Tuesday, depending on which of those nights, or maybe Wednesday, which of those nights would be slower for Whatnot. Because I want some people to come, but I don't think I'm going to have a mad rush, but I am going to list my stuff ahead of time. So it'll be there, and there will be some notification, as to when the auction's going to be. But yeah, I want to do it on a slow night so that, it's nice and easy for me to handle, and get my feet wet. And, if I sell a couple things, that would be good, because then I'll get the email from Whatnot, and I'll go through the whole process of, how you print your labels out and all that stuff, because I don't have a thermal printer yet, because I'm still using paper when I do my shipping labels. That will be a purchase I will have to make at some point, but I'm not spending the money on a thermal printer until I'm making a decent amount with eBay where it's worth it for me. Right now, the biggest expense I have monthly is my store fee that I'm paying, you know. Plus, they're already getting fees from me and stuff. So I don't want to put any more money into this until my sales have improved. So, which could end up being again when I move and I have more space to be organized and I can really go full force with this because I won't have distractions, you know, throughout the day. Um, anyway, I guess that's it. I hope that everybody had a really great Mother's Day weekend. You know, if you've got family around and you got to see your kids, or you are a kid and you got to see your parents or your mom, I hope that you guys had a nice time. I will let you guys go. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you next Monday or Tuesday. Bye.